on, what about now? No? Come on, I'm getting itchy, let's go!
Oh, it's good to hear your voice once again, Lilicore, if only in this dungeon. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, the party are currently trapped in this Ilithid city, and the only way we're going to be escaping is by fighting our way to freedom. But right now, we're currently trapped. There is this way that we haven't gone yet, but it only leads to a room that we can't progress beyond. There's a door leading to the unknown, and a door that leads to the way out, but if we try and open either of them, we get this. Only a powerful mind or godly strength will force this door open. When they say a powerful mind, they mean a mind skilled in psionics. As smart as Edwin is, he's not going to be able to force that open by posing a riddle to it. The godly strength, on the other hand, we do have, and that is referring to our ability to transform into the Slayer. If we want to lose 2 reputation points and lose the ability to do this before we rest, we could turn into the Slayer and force the door open. But there is another way if you don't want to do that, and it involves something that I missed in here. Whenever you go into this room, there is always a single mind flayer in here. This is a pretty decent way of getting a small amount of experience over and over again, but there's also something that we can get in this room that I missed the first time round. And it's from these pools here. First things first, let's go deal with the mind flayer. Have at thee! It shouldn't last very long against Terri and Korgan, and there it goes. Now let us look at one of these. This vat is full of crimson, oily liquid. Let's take some. You gather some of the heavy liquid into a flask and try to ignore the rank sulphurous smell it gives off. Now let us have a look at this. This is Ilithid serum. This is a heavy metallic liquid that rolls into beads when spilled out onto the palm of your hand. Whenever the flask containing the oil is opened, a sickly, rotten egg smell almost overwhelms you. While disgusting, the odour alone serves to heighten your senses. What is this used for? This is used in this room to wake up the people attached to those machines. One thing leads to another thing, which leads to another thing, which eventually leads to our freedom. Kind of. It's going to lead to us being able to explore the rest of this place, and that's ideally what we want. Let's go into here and use that serum. This machine will do. If you wanted, you could pour the Ilithid serum that you obtained from the previous room into the tubes of this machine. And we shall. You'll pour the liquid into the machine.
Oh, I'm so tired.
I think that's a typo. You have freed us, stranger. Thank Ilmata. You cannot imagine what a horror it was. Nightmare after nightmare without the ability to awaken. Thank you, dear woman, thank you. My name is Commodus Highcastle of Myratma. If only there was some way to properly repay you. For starters, tell me how you ended up here. I am unsure. We were part of an expedition to find adventure in the Underdark. Ha! This was hardly what we were expecting, you can be certain. We set out from Myratma and had been in the Underdark for a week, maybe more. I heard a noise, and then everything went grey and blurry. The mind flayers must have surprised us. Next thing I remember, we were hooked to these machines. It was strange. You could see everything and be aware, but not quite. They somehow used our minds to power those machines over there. It makes necklaces, circlets rather, which the mind flayers use to control their slaves. If you were captured too, I can only imagine the next batch of circlets would have been meant for you. Good thing you escaped when you did. Oh my, it's a good thing indeed. Do you think these circlets would work on the Ilithids? Do you know how to work the machine? I suppose they might. There's no reason they wouldn't. As for the machine, it's fairly simple, but I don't think it's fully charged. You could only make a few. We're only going to need one. I suppose I must ask you, stranger, do you plan on escaping? Have you a means of leaving this city? I have a plan. We'll see if I can execute it or not. Well, If you find a way out or stop the mind flayers somehow, we can leave the city on our own. There is a cache of equipment I know of if we locate our old path. I can lead my people to the surface again, but you would have to find us a way out. No offense, friend, but I don't think we could face those mind flayers ourselves. We will wait here until we can leave. We will pray for you, friend. I only hope that our ordeal is finally over. It's not over yet, but it's well on the way to being so.
Very well.
Now, when we use this machine, something different is going to happen. And I don't know who just teleported then. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Now, when you touch the machine, it hums louder for a brief moment, and a golden circlet materializes in our hand. This is a control circlet. A circlet of alien metal that dominates even the most powerful of minds and leaves them defenseless. Perhaps this item could be used to control a mind flayer to make it help you escape from this hellish prison. And that's what we're going to
Could
do.
my opinion of this group drop any lower? Evidently so.
Let's go back to here, find that mind flayer that constantly spawns into here, and control it for a very brief time, just to get it to open up this door. We'll then free it. And it will probably try and kill us, but then it was trying to kill us anyway. What we need to do is we need to put this on to our quick items bar and use it once we get close enough. Now we're going to have Korgan go in first so that the Ilithid tries to use its abilities on Korgan. So Korgan goes in first, then Terri, and that happens. And once the Ilithid moves a little bit closer, then we cast this on the mind flayer. Then the mind flayer is under our control for the time being. There's also something in there that we should probably grab once we're done with getting these doors open. Opening one door will get both of them open, and we're going to turn the party around because once we've done this, we're going to be in combat. You're going to go over to there, the doors are open, and you're a bit angry. That's understandable. And now we have some teleportation.
Yes. Oh, all
And
right.
guess who's going to appear in a moment? It'll take them a little bit.
Of course.
We can wait. There they are.
You have done well, and the Githyanki are now free of the Ilithid web of minds. Our own power is free once more, and we may leave this place on wings of will.
Excellent. I hope you have room for a lot more people. I found a bunch of people in one of the other rooms that also need to escape. And this is where we learn that you do not intend to take us with you, isn't it? I trust no one well enough to think they would. Also, small pile of experience. You will remain here, I fear, for we cannot carry you and still remain free ourselves. In the future, we will return and kill all the filth that their tentacles have touched. Which means they're going to come and kill us. Then go, but when next we meet, we will be at each other's throats. That is acceptable. We wait to see if you can muster the strength to free yourself from this place. If you can conquer this place, if you can kill the Elder Brain, all the doors shall swing wide and you may walk free. Well, we have an objective if nothing else. If not, we will return at a later time with a greater force. This den of filth will be wiped from existence. I hope you succeed and the Elder Brain falls beneath your feet, but I hope the arm that wields our silver sword is lost to you. So they know that we have that part of the sword. It was pretty easy to deduce, especially considering that they can sense who has it. And while we could go this way, we're not going to be able to get out until the Elder Brain is defeated. So, we have to go the other way. And the other way has lots and lots of mind flayers. So, let's go this way and have at these some more. Let's move over to here. We will have you, we could actually have you use the simulacrum helmet because there are going to be a lot of mind flayers in here, and we'd better defeat them all in one go. Go.
What is it now?
You're going to cast haste in a moment. There we go. going to step back. Korgan and Korgan, you take care of this. We have here a mind flayer, an Ilithid. I think we also have another Ilithid and another Ilithid. Deal with the Illithids first. We should be able to do this pretty capably. Yep, one of them is gone. Now let's take care of the other ones. We're dealing a lot of really nice hits here. We just need to keep dealing those hits. Oh, you're trying to run. You cannot run. Now there's one more Ilithid here that we need to take care of. The Umber Hulks are doing next to nothing, which is great. Focus on this, Ilithid. And then you can deal with the Umber Hulks. Marvelous. A tag team of awesomeness. Just imagine how effective they'll be when they have the Flayer, and both have 25 strength. Now, can we open up this door? The answer is yes, we can. Can we open up this door? The answer is yes. Any enemies in here? Ooh. Don't want to go that way just yet. We want you to come this way. It's a mind flare. We can deal with you. We no longer are we no longer have the berserk ability here, so we're just gonna wait. Wait for you to get closer. We're gonna use this potion. Are you going to come closer? The answer is no. No, you're not. Okay, that's fine.
Very well.
We're going to rest now. Fortunately, the mind flayers are absolutely fine with us resting here.
What would you
They really, really shouldn't be. Let us save, because we're inevitably going to encounter more of them. And when we do, we're going to need Korgan to take care of them. Oh, there's this room as well. This room seems quite important. Then again, that room is also important. And I totally forgot to go and check that out, didn't I? I said I would, and then I didn't. I don't know if it's trapped. We'll send Hexat back alone to check it out. And see if there is some dastardly mechanism that we can fall victim to. The answer is no. And it's not locked. In here is an item that we are very unlikely to ever use because I do believe it is a harp.
What would you have me do?
It may be something that everyone can activate, but quite a few magical harps in this game are only usable by bards. Let's check it out. In a valley far from most civilized lands, there was once a tiny kingdom called Childian. One winter evening, a trio of evil witches overtook the valley and imprisoned the royal family by casting spells of holding upon them. The witches planned to eat the family one by one. Later that evening, the witches were exhausted after a hard day of slaying innocents and desecrating the palace, so they called for the court bard to play them a song. Methild the bard was loyal to his king and the king's family, and so he used the special powers of his magic harp. As he played, he focused his attention first on the king. As the song played on, the spell of holding upon the king dissipated, and the noble liege slowly crept away. One by one, Methild freed his patrons, being careful to keep the witch's attention drawn his way. Finally, once all the family was freed, the bard could play no longer, and the witches saw his treachery. Poor Methild, unlike his lieges, did not escape, and was served on the supper table in their place. Charge abilities. Dispel hold-like abilities 3 times per day, and it is only usable by a bard and the bard kits, which makes it quite useless for our party. We're going to be putting that in the bag of holding and then promptly selling it as soon as we can. Now, is this the way I want to go, or is this the way I want to go? Let us send Korgan this way and have a look. Nothing here. Now there's a door there. Oh, and there's an Umber Hulk. We have found combat. And you're going to keep trying to confuse Korgan? Korgan will not be befuddled, however. That does tell me that there are going to be some mind flayers there. And there's Lillicor saying that he certainly enjoys smelling flowers. I'm not sure he actually does. I think he's using that as a analogy for combat. Now let us save. And I feel like using the same trick I did before, because it worked the first time. Why not use it again?
Be quick with it.
We'll just have you both berserk, and then I think
Go bother
some more
someone
haste
else.
will be needed. Haste is just so very effective. Go in and have at the oh! There's a lot of people here. Ilithrids, mind flayers, more mind flayers, another Ilithrid and a mind flayer, and another Ilithrid. You know what?
I'm busy,
I
okay?
feel
I'm
like
busy.
throwing a fireball into the mix here. Why? Because it just might be helpful. Would you like a fireball? I think you would. Right, I think one of the Ilithrids is already dead, and that really didn't help at all. That is another Ilithrid dead. Now, Mind Flayer, Ilithrid, and Mind Flayer. Focus on this Ilithrid, then the other Ilithrid, and then you can deal with those Mind Flayers. Ooh, there's a secret door there. I don't know how they noticed it, but I'm very glad they did. Now, we only have Mind Flayers and that one Umber Hulk left. And I imagine these Mind Flayers are absolutely horrified as Korgan and Korgan absolutely obliterate them. Berserk, it's just so useful. It's so useful. And here I was at the beginning of the game underestimating Korgan.
Quick with it.
Korgan's even more mighty than
That's the best
Terri.
you can manage?
Mighty indeed. Now, no traps or anything like that. We will wait for this to expire. And then rest, because we want the ability to berserk and have the other Korgan back. This is definitely a place where we want to be at our most prepared for every fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up this door. And I imagine there's going to be a problem through this door. And by a problem, I mean there's going to be even more enemies. Certainly looks like there might be. So you know what? Engage Operation Korgan once more.
Be quick with it.
Seriously, when both of them have strength 25 due to Cromfire, this is going to be absurd.
Yes, master. What should I fetch now?
I don't want you to fetch anything, I just want you to cast haste and let these two do what they do best, which is
Hey, the-
obliterate everyone. Oh look! More Mind Flayers. Mind Flayer, Ilithrid, Mind Flayer. Deal with the Ilithrid first. A little bit of healing there won't help you because these two have ridiculous armor classes and ridiculous Thaco. And you're nearly gone. There's quite a few things here. Good. Let's do some looting, shall we? That is
Yes,
not the way you
one
should be
thing.
going, Edwin. That way leads to the unknown, and the unknown is going to be full of Illithids. You don't want to encounter those Illithids. Anything in here
Certainly.
trapped? No? Maybe? Probably? No. Anything locked? Also no. We have nothing.
That over there.
We're not killing the table. We have a quarterstaff that looks quite neat. And we have nothing. So, ooh, there's something there that I missed as well. Why don't you go back over there, Hexat, and have a look at this hidden cubbyhole full of awesome. It wasn't full of awesome, but there was a gem, and I'll take that. You can't identify this
What would you have me
quarterstaff,
do?
I
I can
imagine
do that.
Edwin can, and if Edwin can't, those glasses of identification that I keep interchangeably calling goggles can. Pass this over. What is this item? It's a quarterstaff. I know that, but what does it do? It is a staff of command. The staff allows the user to dominate another creature, each use draining a single charge. This item is of a kind used by nefarious people seeking to sway others to follow their ways. I am not in the least bit surprised that it is located within an Ilithid city. I have no real use for it, but keep it in the bag anyway. You'll never know.
I'm watching your backs.
And that's all the loot in there. Also, I still haven't learned that mantle scroll, but I'll remember to do that next time. For when we come back, folks, we still have some of the Ilithid city to investigate. We have this way, that way, and this way. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. If there's one thing I would say that this place isn't, Korgan, it's shoddily made. This place is very finely made. And I imagine it's also very expansive. This is probably only a small part of the city. There's probably a lot more behind some secret doors that leads to a huge place full of Ilithid that you are not going to, Korgan. No matter how much you'd enjoy it, your berserk state would run out eventually, and then you'd be overwhelmed. Maybe if there were 2,000 Korgans, then we could go to the rest of the city. But if there were 2,000 Korgans, we would also have another problem in that there would be an army of 2,000 Korgans. That would be pretty unstoppable. Later.